So imagine this for a second. You build a service business, an agency, and it's consistently netting you, let's say $35,000 a month.
That's the dream, right? For pretty much any founder, that's high six-figure stability.
Right. But here's the part from the sources that really got me. Achieving that, but spending $0. Zero. On marketing, on ads, on any of that endless cold outreach.
Yeah, and this isn't some, get-rich-quick thing. It's a very specific strategy. It's about working smart by leveraging the success that other companies are already having.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, our mission is to really unpack this blueprint for what the sources call a partner-led AI business. It's a model designed to flip that old agency script completely on its head.
And we're going to focus on the single biggest reason most agencies just fail. Or at least stay really small, and that's high CAC.
High CAC. Okay, let's nail that down right away. What is high CAC in, plain English?
High CAC just means spending a ton of money to convince one customer to sign up.
A simple but painful definition.
It's like paying for an expensive first date and then getting ghosted.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
So here's the plan. First, we're going to look at why that old model is so broken. Then we'll walk through this smooth lead flow that gets you to that $0 customer cost. After that, how to structure your offers.
And finally, the actual playbook for becoming that #1 expert that big software platforms send all their business to.
Okay, so let's start with that broken model. The sources point out this brutal reality for a traditional agency owner. You spend something like 70% of your day just being a salesman.
A desperate salesman.
And only 30% of your time doing the thing you actually love, which is building solutions.
It's totally soul-crushing. And it's so expensive in ways people don't even think about. It's not just the ad spend.
No, it's the hours, right?
Yeah.
Writing emails that you know are just going to a spam folder.
Exactly. Or sending those LinkedIn messages that get ignored. You're constantly paying Facebook or Google for clicks that, maybe convert, maybe don't. Every single hour you spend hunting is an hour you're not building.
And that's what keeps the profit margin so low.
It's a treadmill. This partner model, though, it flips that ratio. The goal is to spend 90% of your time building great things and maybe, 10% on these super low-stress calls.
So what's the core idea? How does that actually work?
The premise is actually really elegant. You find customers who are already sold. They're committed. But now they're stuck.
Stuck how?
They bought a really complex, powerful tool. Maybe it's an automation platform like Make or a voice AI like Vappy. They paid for it. They believe in it.
Okay.
But they have no idea how to connect it to their CRM, to their actual business.
So the software company that sold it to them is also in a tough spot.
Oh, they're stressed. Because if that customer fails, they're going to churn. They'll cancel their subscription.
And that software company, they don't have a giant army of consultants to hold every new user's hand.
Exactly. And that's the gap. That's your entry point. You become the official partner. The software company sends their stuck customer directly to you.
Which means you get to skip the hardest part.
You skip all of it. You get pre-sold leads, warm intros, instant trust, because you're borrowing the brand name of the company they already paid. And that's how your marketing spend goes to zero.
So beyond just the money you're saving on ads, what's the biggest emotional burden that this model gets rid of compared to all that cold outreach?
It just removes the need for that constant, exhausting self-persuasion.
Let's talk about the math, because this is where it gets really compelling. A traditional agency, you're lucky to see 40, maybe 50% profit margins after all your costs.
If you're lucky, yeah. With this partner-led model, the numbers are consistently hitting 80, even 85% profit.
That's a massive difference. At 80%, pretty much every dollar you bring in after a few small costs just goes right into your pocket.
It's because you cut out the burn, the cost of persuasion. Your operating costs are just minimal. A few AI tool subscriptions, your electricity, maybe a contractor here and there. You're not funding a sales team.
So let's trace that customer journey. The sources call it incredibly smooth.
It all starts with what they call a voluntary commitment. The business owner, they've already paid for the AI tool. They've got skin in the game. You never have to have that conversation about why AI is important.
They're already a believer. They're excited, but then they hit the friction point.
Yeah. After a day or two, they realize connecting this thing to their real business, to their CRM or their database, is way harder than the promo video made it look. They have a Ferrari, but they don't know how to drive it.
And that's when their need for an expert is at its absolute peak.
Right. And, even for experts, complex integrations are tough. I still wrestle with concepts like prompt drift myself when I'm trying to get different systems to communicate properly. It is not easy, even when you know what you're doing.
That's a good point. So the user's frustrated. That's what leads to the referral.
They go to the software support team and say, "Help, I'm stuck," and the support staff just sends them a link to your profile. Instantly, you're a verified expert. You're not some random guy from a cold email.
And because that trust is baked in, that next step, the 15-minute close, is a whole different ballgame.
It's not a sales pitch at all. It's a solution meeting. You just listen to their problem and you tell them the fixed price to solve it.
Which leads to the final step, conversion. The closing rates are apparently huge, over 60%.
Compared to what, 1% for a cold email? And they pay fast because they just want the pain to stop. They want their investment to start working.
So if that trust is already there from the software company, how does that really change the energy of that first client meeting?
It just transforms selling into listening and solving specific, urgent problems.
Okay, so the leads are great, the margins are high, but that doesn't solve for scale. If every single project is this custom, one-off, special snowflake, you're never going to be able to grow. You'll just burn out.
Oh, that's the fastest way to burn out for sure. Which is why productization is, it's not optional, it's mandatory.
So what does that mean to productize a service?
It just means you sell a fixed package for a fixed price. Think of it like a restaurant menu. You don't create a custom dish for everyone. You offer a few amazing defined entrees. It makes it super easy for the client to say yes.
And it makes it repeatable for you, which is the key to actually scaling. So let's just give some really good examples.
Yeah, the first one was the Voice AI agent package. So this is where you'd set up a tool like Vapi or Retail AI. You do the hard part.
Connecting it to their Google Calendar, making sure it talks to their CRM, like go high level.
Exactly. And the price for that is something like a $3,000 setup fee plus $500 a month for maintenance. That monthly retainer is everything.
Then there was the lead gen chatbot.
Right. Building on a platform like VoiceFlow, you train it on their website data, you hook it into their Slack, so the sales team gets alerts.
And that's priced a bit lower, maybe $2,500 for setup and $300 a month.
Yeah, a lower entry point. And then there's the simplest one, the glue integration. This is for when a company has two big pieces of software that just don't talk to each other.
So you use a tool like Make or N8N to build that bridge.
And you charge anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000 just for that one-time setup. It's pure value.
So what does productizing your services really do for your perceived value in the client's eyes?
It positions you as an efficient, focused specialist, not just a time-for-hire freelancer.
All right, now for the most important choice. Picking the platform to partner with. This feels like the whole foundation of the business.
It is. It's like choosing the land you're going to build your house on. It has to be growing fast, but it can't be, overcrowded with 1,000 other builders. The sources gave 3 green flags to look for.
The first one is fast user growth. Look for companies that just raised a big round of funding, like a Series A or B.
Yep. That money means they're about to scale like crazy. If they're adding hundreds of new users every day, their small support team is going to get swamped. They have no choice but to rely on outside partners.
Green flag number 2, high technical complexity. So we need to avoid tools that are too easy.
Yeah, if someone can figure it out over their lunch break with a YouTube video, they are not going to pay you $3,000. You need something that requires real API work, custom logic. Stuff like Stack AI.
The difficulty is what creates the value.
Exactly. And the third flag is what they call the service gap. You want pure SaaS companies.
Meaning they only sell the software subscription. They don't have their own giant team of in-house consultants.
Right. They are financially motivated to send all that setup work to an expert like you. It's a perfect alignment of incentives.
Whoa. Okay, just think about that. You're connecting your one little service directly into a pipeline of, hundreds of new funded users a day?
Yeah.
Users who are basically designed to get stuck without an expert.
That's the leverage. It's the ultimate customer acquisition shortcut. But you also have to watch out for the red flags.
Right. We already said avoid tools that are too simple. No margin.
The second one is cold communities. If you join their Discord or Slack and it's a ghost town, that platform is dying, you'd be building on sinking sand.
And the third, which seems like the most dangerous one, is partnering with low-reputation companies.
Yeah. If the tool is super buggy and users are always complaining, they're just going to cancel their subscription. And when they cancel, your monthly retainer goes right out the window with it.
So between those 3 red flags, which one poses the biggest risk to your long-term monthly retainer income?
partnering with low reputation companies whose structural bugs cause customers to quit their essential subscriptions.
So let's say you found the perfect platform. Getting that official partner spot. It's not as simple as just emailing the CEO. There's a specific 4-step playbook.
Yeah, you can't just ask. Step 1 is you have to become a power user. I mean, you have to master the tool, read all the docs, build some cool personal projects. Genuine expertise comes first.
Okay, so you know the tool inside and out. Step 2.
Help for free in the community. Go into their Slack or Discord and just be the most helpful person there. Answer questions. The staff will notice you. The partner manager will definitely notice you.
Because you're making their job easier.
Exactly. Then step 3 is you have to create case studies. Find 2 or 3 small businesses, offer them a huge discount, and get video testimonials in return. You need that social proof.
And once you have all that, then you do the outreach, the win-win outreach.
Yes. And your message isn't about you. It's about them. You say, hey, I've already helped 5 of your users succeed. They're now 100% more likely to keep paying their subscription. You're a retention tool for them, not a vendor asking for a handout.
Okay, so the leads start coming in. Now you have to scale. This is where you move from being a freelancer to an actual business owner.
And that means systems, specifically SOPs, standard operating procedures. You need to document how you build your productized service in something like Notion.
So you can hand it off to someone else.
Right. And you train them using screen recordings like Loom. A 5-minute video is so much better than a long email. You show, you don't just tell.
And for hiring, the advice is to use project-based contractors, not full-time employees.
Yeah, find people who are amazing builders but are terrible at sales. You handle the lead flow, they handle the build. It's a perfect match that protects your high margins.
And that all leads to the end game, which is moving from being a service agency to a SaaS model.
This is the real wealth building part. Once you realize you've built the same chatbot for 5 different dentists, you stop selling it as a custom service.
You turn it into a reusable template.
A template or a lightweight app. Instead of a $5,000 one-time fee, you charge $200 a month for access to your plug-and-play solution.
That's a fundamental shift. So if the goal is long-term wealth, how important is that move from service to software compared to just maximizing the agency's profit month to month?
The ultimate financial security and the potential for a multi-million-dollar exit comes from building sellable equity, not just maximizing today's operational cash flow.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, the core insight seems to be that this partner-led model works because it shifts the enormous cost and effort of building trust.
It takes it off your shoulders and puts it onto the big, established software platform that customers already know and respect.
You're selling your brain, your efficiency. Your cost of goods is almost zero.
It lets you build a business by being the most helpful expert in the room, not by being the loudest salesman. It's real money, but it requires that real, focused work in the first, say, 90 days.
It's the definition of working smarter. So the action plan is pretty clear. Pick one tool, join its community, build a demo, get a testimonial, and then send that win-win message to the partner manager.
And here's the final thought we want to leave you with. Maybe the ultimate leverage in the AI world right now isn't trying to build the next brand new complex product from scratch.
What is it then?
It's mastering a single specific growing tool so incredibly well that the multi-million-dollar company that created it actually starts to depend on you for their own customer retention.
That partnership, that dependency, that's where the real power is.
Until next time, keep diving deep.